Hello, welcome to my official series of starting over in Attack on Titan Revolution, also known as going from noob to pro. And so in this series, I'm going to be starting at level 1, prestige 0, and throughout this entire journey, I'm going to be giving tips based on that prestige level while grinding up. I'm not really sure what my goal in this series is, maybe getting a mythic family, that'd be pretty cool. So I'm on my alt account. I don't want to use my name to be able to get free stuff or trades, so let's hop into a customization. I guess I gotta make a character, so I'll be right back when I make my character. Alright, so this is generally what I went with. I don't have the most amount of time to record, so I just put whatever together. I'll probably change the mouth, but anyway, you know what? It's 2 times family. I have 10. Let's see what I can get. Oh, right, I don't have the game pass. I mean, might as well, right? Let's see what else I can get. I may be looking for cassava or something that generally buffs my damage, but I guess let's see. One more. Okay, no beginner's luck. That's fine. I guess I'll just stick to Springer. Less crit chance, but chances are I'm probably not going to need it. I'm mainly going for the health, but anyway, let's go to the play menu. Alright, and here we are again, level 1. I started this game in about June of 2025, so I haven't been in this spot in a very, very long time. It feels like decades ago. And another rule I have for the series is I'm obviously not allowed to make any trades from my main account to this account, so I'm just going to have to stick to the trade chat. So when I was newer to the game, I actually completely ignored my daily and weekly challenges. It took me a while to even really look at these, so that's what I'm going to be prioritizing right now. Obviously, I can't do the ones with raids quite yet. You need to be a bit of a higher level, but hopefully maybe I can still get them done if I do the lowest difficulty with boring and simple on. So right now, my focus are going to be the quests, mainly the daily quests as well as the main quests. So let's do the dailies, which are earning gold, which will be easy, and critical hits. Thankfully, these are passive. So maybe let's see. Doing some missions. Maybe there's a specific mission I might want to look out for. Oh, right, these are the battle pass ones. So it's just these 4 right now. So yeah, okay, a lot of these are passive, so obviously I can't do raids right now. So right now I'm just going to be focusing on just grinding out missions. So with newer folks, I usually recommend playing Outskirts when you're newer, mainly because the layout is super simple and super easy. However, since I'm more experienced, I can go with the ones with the highest reward, which are Giant Forest and Utgard. And right now, Giant Forest actually has a gold boost, so I'm going to be grinding a bit of Giant Forest back out and see what the next rewards are, and let's go from there. I will be doing it on Skirmish rather than Guard since I only have ODM. And as for the modifiers, I'm just going to throw on Chronic Injuries and Fog for now. I definitely don't want to do Nightmare or Oddball. I might be able to throw on Nightmare once I get used to this again, but I'm just going to go with these. And while I grind, I'm actually just going to mute myself here and do a voiceover. So one of the hardest parts of doing this so far is getting used to how slow the Titans are, as well as how weak my ODM is. It does feel weird not having my ODM insta-kill Titans, as well as how slow the Titans are, since I got so used to Aberrant, Nightmare, Oddball Titans. And another thing is trying to focus on one thing, but I do believe that the best thing to focus on when you're starting out is going to be upgrading your gear. The skill tree isn't going to matter, and sooner or later I do talk about that. And as I said before, I do think that my main goal for this series is just going to be either getting something crazy like a mythic family, or maybe even being able to get some rare cosmetics in the future. Admittedly, I still don't really know, but some advice I have for some newer folks right now is save up your radiant headbands as they may be worth something in the future, and invest in the crates right now. The best ones to invest in right now are the Demon Slayer crates as well as the Blade Burst crates, since the things like Azure Flame and Cosmic Nova do go for quite a lot, and once they become unavailable post update 4, their prices more than likely will skyrocket, especially if the Colossal update brings in a lot of new players. And just some other general advice when it comes to gameplay for newer folks is, as I mentioned, ignore your skill tree and everything else. Your main focus should be on upgrading your gear, and then you can start worrying about your skill tree and which side to go on the skill tree once you start actually being able to run a solid build, such as when you get a serum or something like that, or you get maybe Ackerman or just a good Thunder Spear build. That's when I would start worrying about where your skill tree is, but just ignore that for now if you're just starting out. Definitely feel free to throw on a few perks. They won't matter that much until they get to legendary or obviously mythic, but when you're starting out, gray and blue are basically the same thing, and so I'd ignore that aspect for at least now. Alright, so that was the skirmish. First ever E grade skirmish I've done in a very long time. So now I'm going to return to the main lobby, put on the perks if they're good. For the most part, for newer players, I wouldn't worry about the perks at all, but at the same time, they do help an insy bit. Right now, we don't have much. So first aid gives more bandages, so I might as well just put on fortitude just for the little bit of health. It does feel really weird with my ODM feeling the way it does. So let's look at the next boost, and it's a gold boost on Shiganshina. So I feel like I can put on Nightmare because I am used to abnormals and crawlers. I still kind of need to get used to them being so slow, but overall I still know how to counter them and what to do around them. So I'm just going to put on some extra modifiers, and this should be good for now. And so now for this segment of the video, there's a few things I want to talk about. Firstly, thank you guys for 1.1 thousand subs. This series was kind of my idea of a 1,000 subscriber special. And over in my Discord and my community posts, I did put a link to a Google form where you can ask me questions, and I'm going to be answering them here. So the first question we have is from Air. They ask, what is happening? I have no idea. I don't think anyone really knows, right? The second one is from Megadeep, and their question is, if you could become a staff member of AOTR, what would you do first? I don't really know if they mean staff member or developer. If I was a staff member, I have no idea. I don't really care about that aspect. But one of the biggest changes I would make to AOTR is rework how the serums play. It would be really cool if it was kind of like a team-based thing where every serum were more viable and it wasn't just the female serum that was the only good one. And if there were multiple people running the different serums, people would get different kinds of buffs so that there would be more of an incentive to be running all of the serums rather than 8 people running the female serum, for example, if that makes sense. This next question is from the best Chainsaw Man fan you know of, and their question is, when Ninja Assassin tutorial? Soon. The next question is from Anonymous, and their question is, do you have love interest? If so, for how long? And honestly, I have a huge crush on the Sock and Buskin Joker from Balatro. The next question is from Hi. I'll put their username on screen. I don't know how to quite pronounce it. They ask, what's my opinion on the current state of Roblox and its moderation? And if I was in any position to make any changes, how would you respond to the current state of the platform? So I am somebody who is very against the use of AI, whether it's for generation or moderation, for example. And so I would remove that system. The problem with it is it's a good idea in theory. Obviously, you do want people who are older separated from the people who are younger in some instances, but this full lockdown, shutdown from each other isn't exactly the best way to go about it. To be honest, I'm not like a moderator. I wouldn't really know how. I would probably just do like an elimination of weird, not safe for workspaces, like those dollhouse roleplays, for example. I would try and get rid of those and other situations on the platform rather than reaching out into the real world with verification and AI and pictures of driver's license and stuff like that. I think that's a compromisation of your privacy over a slight leniency towards a little bit of safety, which still isn't even that effective. So I would start with just removing adult content from the platform and go from there. And also, I wouldn't be a big mega corporation. Them selling out to their stockholders has also been very disappointing, such as making the changes to the face system and just like weird stuff like that. So those are the changes I'd make. Go back to the OG Roblox. And the last question is from Not LV. I do apologize. I had to reword the question a little bit because it didn't make much sense to me, but essentially their question was, which games do you plan to play? Also, are you going to be playing requested games or focus on certain games? And so, one, I don't really have any games planned to play. Admittedly, I did actually want to become a Blockstro YouTuber before I became an AOTR YouTuber, and a lot of requests I get to play don't really interest me. A lot of people recommend like other anime games for animes I don't care about. And so I'm just kind of waiting for a game to blow up that I actually do care about, and then I can make content on it, because I can't make content on something I'm not passionate about. I need to be passionate about a thing to make content on it. So right now my focus is going to be AOTR, maybe just like other silly random Roblox games, but as for making content and guides, I don't have any plans for anything else. I do have a second channel that I do plan on releasing content on. I did want to upload some of my old videos there, some of my older gameplays, but I think I only have 2 videos that I can upload, so I'd rather just focus on my main channel for now. And that's it for the questions, and stick around to the end to find out how you can submit your questions if you have any for me. Alright, we got quite a lot of gold. We probably have around maybe 15 to 20,000, so I'm going to be going to the main menu and give some advice. So firstly, make sure you claim your achievement rewards, as they can give gems, which will be very helpful later on. Okay, so yeah, about 15,000 gold. So a huge question you may have is, what should you be going for first when it comes to either your skill tree or your upgrades? So firstly, I'm going to be talking about upgrades. I personally would probably recommend ODM damage if you plan on sticking to outskirts, but if you're maybe feeling adventurous or just prefer like giant forest over anything else, I would probably say ODM gas, just so you aren't refilling your gas every 2 seconds. Either way, your ODM damage and your ODM gas are going to be your most important ones to focus on at the moment. So I'm going to be upgrading my gas first, because I really hate having to refill for that, but we have enough gold where we can just upgrade both anyway. Maybe even some blade durability as well, why not? And everything else doesn't really matter. Might as well get some ODM speed just to move around the map faster. Let's see if we got any better perks. So I actually want to put on this instead, just to do more damage. If you're good, then you won't really need health. But as you guys saw, I wasn't doing a lot of damage, so I'm just going to be focusing on damage rather than defense. So for the skill tree, I might be able to put some stuff in here. I'll focus on the middle path just for the damage rather than the durability. So let's just see how much I can get here. Not enough gold. Okay, might as well. I got grabbed a few times, so might as well get some skills now. Maybe one in durability. Nope, not quite. Okay, that's fine. And now doing these should be slightly easier. I want to see how easy it is to do with my previous modifiers, but maybe if it's too easy, I can maybe throw on oddball, just because now I have the perk and the skill tree. So let's go with this. Alright, and now that I grinded quite a bit, I'm going to see if I can now get my gear to a higher level, so that I don't have to keep spamming E- grade. Okay, so I don't think quite yet, but that's fine. Just claim some more gems here. Maybe get some more gold from these, hopefully. Oh wait, these don't give gold. Duh. They give gems. Maybe see if I got a better offense perk? Not really, but that's okay. Alright, now I'm going to see if I can throw on oddball instead. Oh, actually now I can do normal E grade. So I'm going to throw on that, but no oddball quite yet. So these should be fine. Let's see how I do with this. Good. Okay. I guess maybe I'm not quite as ready for this as I thought. Maybe I should just try oddball instead. So I did not expect it to go that badly. So I'm just going back to E grade with nightmare and oddball on instead. Grind enough gold so that I can get slightly better equipment for E+. Alright, yeah, it's probably better to just stick to oddball at the moment. Let's go back to the main menu. And that's basically going to be it for this video. I basically just wanted this to be a pilot to this series and let you guys know that I am working on this. I really do want to grind before update 4, but my life's just been really busy, so I just wanted to get a video out before I move to my new house, as I mentioned before. So leave in the comments if you have any questions, and I actually do have a Google form for questions you may have. They can be about AOTR, or they can just be questions that you may have for me. So if you have any questions, you can either leave them in the comments or in that Google form, just so I can format it a little better. But anyway, that's it. Have a great day, have a great night, and I'll see you in the next video. Peace.